Independence Day Resurgence is a 2016 film. It's the sequel to a film that came out 20 years ago, Independence Day, which I think is a pretty good film. I like it a lot. It was the jumping start of Will Smith's career, and Jeff Goldblum is also great in the film. Some people call it cheesy. Some people say the special effects wasn't good. I liked the film overall. I thought, it stood the test of time. It's sort of a disaster film. It's a space invasion movie. Of course, it's going to be a little, far fetched, but because we haven't seen nothing like that in real life, so we have to just make stuff up. Okay, so I'm gonna get that. I got that out the way. That I like the first one. So now we get into Resurgence. And the plot of this one is that it's 20 years later. We have, the war in 96 is over. And we have taken some of the technology that the aliens had. We have fused it with our own technology. And we have created a defense, system. Sort of a universal police of the space. We call it the ESD, the Earth Space Defense or something like that. And yeah, we have all this stuff. Everybody, all the nations are helping out. And one day, shit starts to go left. And the aliens have decided to come back. This time bigger, badder, and meaner than ever. And they have decided to, fuck our shit up one more time for good measure. Now, what I thought of the film was... it wasn't terrible. It's not the worst thing I've seen in the world. But it's also not innovative or good in any stretch of the imagination. I mean, take the acting, for instance, man. Like, there was a rumor that, Will Smith wanted too much money to do this film, and he's not in the film. They explained they killed his character off. He died in a test something, and whatever. His son is in the movie. That's the other black dude that you see in all the commercials. That's supposed to be Will Smith and Vivica A. Fox's son. She's in the movie, by the way. Not for long, but she's in the movie. And, they said that Will Smith didn't want to do the movie because, he wanted $50 million or some crazy number they came up with, in some of these blogs. Let me tell you something. I would have gave Will Smith $60 million to be in this. If he would have took that $50 million, I would have gladly said he deserved it, because this film is lacking a spark from a star. The film, very muddled and cluttered in terms of a plot, but just in terms of just a star quality presence about this film, there's none to be sort of. When it comes to this film, they needed Will Smith badly in this film. They should have begged him to be in this film, honestly, because they needed some type of charisma to push this, I think, terrible script. Like, Will Smith is the Jordan of this film, and you take him out of this, and you don't really have nothing. They're trying to make stars out of people. Liam Neeson, is that his name? Liam Hemsworth. They try to make him a star, and God bless them. They tried, but it just didn't work for me. They using all types of gimmickry to make him a star. They try to blend in movies like Top Gun, because he's like some type of pilot or something like that. He's like so reckless that they based him in the moon. Like, in this film, we have a base on the moon that has a weapon on it that is part of our defense against the aliens and stuff like that. And he's subjugated to that throughout the movie. They try to pull out all the magicry of the first one, of the original Independence Day. They tried. They used all the tropes. They used every trick they had in the first one. They try to use it in this one. And, tricks like, why don't we have a scene with, somebody punching the alien in the face? Because, Will Smith did that in the first one, so we should try to recreate that. Punch an alien, or why don't we recreate the scene where, a guy had the alien was talking through the guy telepathically. Why don't we do another scene like that? You know, I just don't. It was so many scenes like that where they were just blatantly ripping off their own movie to try to make something more original, but it came off as contrite and forced and, quite frankly, old and corny at some points in this film. It's hard to explain. Like, it's a lot of what the problem with this film is, because it's not really the special effects. Because if you want to know the truth, the special effects look good. I saw it in IMAX 3D. I thought all that worked in terms of the special effects. But after that, when we get to this plot, I mean, the plot is going everywhere. I'm not even joking. If I stood here and looked you in your eye and told you that some parts of this plot has to do with aliens fighting some humans in Africa, and there's one dude in this film with 2 machetes fighting aliens, talking about he's been fighting aliens for years, either you're gonna think that sounds cool or you're gonna think that sounds dumb. Like, but that's what really happens in the film. There is actually a character like that, and they try to explain it. Like, he plays a bigger role than I'm giving him, than I'm saying right now. I think, he plays a role where he kind of understands the you got to remember, since the battle of '96, people just thought that when we killed the mothership and all that stuff, the aliens just died. But they really didn't just die, right? It's like some of them, when they ship landed and they couldn't fly it off no more, they were actually on the planet Earth, and some people fought them, like hand-to-hand combat. And this is like one of the guys that actually, caught a fade with an alien. And that and he knows how to read some of their language, and it's helped him hunt them and stuff like that. That's kind of cool, but it wasn't cool enough. Like, for me, one of the biggest reasons why I like the first Independence Day movie is because, personally, I like the conspiracy theory that went on in that first movie. The whole Area 51 thing, and how come the government didn't talk about, Roswell and all that stuff. That's what I liked about that first one in terms of a story, In this one, it's not so much, It's kind of like we already know what's going down. When the second wave happens in this movie, or the second attack, it's like, they try to, the people who are in charge of this film, they try to go, okay, what can we do new destruction? Like, okay, we had them shoot lasers last time. Why don't we have them use gravity? And when you see that scene when they're using that gravity weapon in this movie, I couldn't help but think of Man of Steel and how they used that same world machine thing in that movie for this movie. Like, I thought it looked the same to me. Honestly, it looked exactly the same. I don't know, maybe I'm looking too deep into it, but for me, it just looked the same, and it didn't look impressive. I just didn't get a good, impressive thing about this film. And like what I said about earlier, about how they took scenes straight from the first one, like the punching the alien and all of that, and talking telepathically. They even have a scene where they one of the characters, he does the whole sacrifice himself to blow up something, same way they did it in the last movie, and it's just it's just not clever. It's corny. It's just not good enough no more in 2006 to see a film like this. And I knew, and in 2016 to see a film like this, and I knew this was going to happen because I just had a feeling, a movie that takes 20 years to make a sequel is a movie that shouldn't be made. That's my quote for today. A movie that takes 20 years to have a sequel is a movie that shouldn't be made, Because if it took you 20 years to think of a new idea, which is not really a new idea in this film, to make something grandioso, then you probably shouldn't have done it. Like it probably just wasn't in the stratosphere of things that you should have did, when you was thinking about doing another movie. Look, I'm not gonna waste your time no more. I'm just gonna say like this: Independence Day Resurgence is a case of been there, done that, move on. I'm gonna give it a skip it. Hurts my heart. It hurts my heart to do it, man, because I really didn't want to do it. I really wanted to be here and talk great about the film. And the film, like I said, looks pretty good visually. I was never really bored. So that's the best positive thing I could say about the film. I was up. I was attentive. My eyes were pretty open. I found, when they started getting to like more of the conspiracy stuff, I kind of got enjoyment out of that. It was just when they started getting to the action stuff, some of it just looked pretentious, corny, stupid. I'm K, and damn, I really did want to like this movie, but I just couldn't, man. All right, man, I'm out. Like, subscribe. Comment below and let me know what you thought about Independence Day Resurgence. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, anything. Comment below, let me know, all right? I'm K, I'm out.